top right out of your head. I notice it's air conditioned, but ma'am, it can cause a sunburn.
Not with this hair.
Oh, it would with this kind of hair, though. Have you... Step right up, folks. Step right up here and try some of Dr. J's Indian Tonic Selection. Now, folks, we're going to tell you, it's too cold to be drinking on a hot day like this, so wrap your hands around and warm it up to the temperature you like. That's right, folks, it's 28 to 32 degrees. Some of the finest product you ever do. Wrap your hands and lift around. That's right, Dr. J's Indian Tonic Selection. Yes, ma'am, right here on each one.
Sharp's carbine, 54 caliber, and you load a paper cartridge into the buttstock, into the barrel right here, and as you close this, it cuts the tail of the cartridge off. And then you take what they call a percussion cap, put a percussion cap on the end, and fire it, and the gun will go off. The cavalryman would carry this weapon wrapped over his shoulder like so, and it will just dangle at your side as you're riding the horse. The bad thing is it will snap. It'll be beating you, and I've got bruises on my leg to prove it. I won't show you.
Thank you.
It'll beat on your leg, and of course it comes up and it hits you in the elbow and whatever. It's a lot of fun. When you mount your horse, you take this, fold it around, and throw it around like this, so that you're able to see how it dangles off your back. That way, when you're mounting your horse, it's out of your way. If you don't do that, when you're mounting the horse, that's what happens.
Yeah.
It gets real embarrassing. Here's what the percussion caps look like. This is a percussion cap that actually fires the weapon.
Wow.
Just like a kid's cap gun that would have today. The cavalry trooper, of course the infantry is completely different, but the cavalry trooper would also be carrying, I should say wearing. You might shut this off for a minute so I...
No, I can come to you with this.
Okay, all right. This is your basic rig. Of course, I'm not going to be wearing my gray coat today. It's just too damn hot. But this is what they call the cat pouch. This is where you kept the cartridges. Would you bring me my carbine, Michael? This is where you keep your caps to fire your carbine. Here would be your pistol. I'm carrying, and this one here is a Remington, 44 caliber Remington, 6-shot. And it's the same thing. If you see these little tiny caps here, the way you'd load it, you'd pour your powder down the barrel, down the cylinder. Then you would put a bullet in, or you put a powder in first, and you would take this and you'd crimp the powder down in. And then you'd put a bullet in and crimp it in. And then you'd put beeswax in to stop, so when you fire the gun, all 6 cylinders wouldn't go off at the same time.
Wow.
Then, on the back here, right here, is my cartridge box. And this is my cartridge. That's exactly what they look like. It's just a piece of paper with the bullet in the bottom of the paper. The bullet would be down here, and up in here would be the gunpowder. You'd slip it into the gun, as I just showed you a few minutes ago, and when you would close it, it cut the end of the paper off, exposing the powder, and when you pulled the trigger, the gun would go off. Of course, everybody remembers a cavalry trooper with a sword. This is a replica of an 1860 Cav Saber. The Cav Saber, there are many ways you'd fight with it. You could hit somebody, you could slash them like this, or when you charged, you would charge at a point like this. On Hollywood, you'll see them charging like this. It's impossible, because if you hit somebody like this at a charge and you're riding, you're going to break your wrist or you're going to lose your saber. But if you hit them like this, as you're charging, you hit them, it goes into them, it cuts them in two, and pulls right back out. As you see, This here drags on the ground when you're walking. That is why the scabbard has this right here. It's called a drag. When you mount your horse, grab a hold of it, and I can show you in a few minutes on how to mount a horse. Well, and that's how when you mount the horse, and that's to keep you from getting tangled up too. I'm gonna shut it off again. I'll show you. This is Nellie. Oh, are you filming already?
Yeah.
Well, let me get Nellie around here so you can be introduced. Here, Nellie. Well, let me get her around here.
I will ask the age-old question.
Come on.
Does she bite? She's headstrong.
I'm gonna get her around this. She's fat. No, she's usually very well behaved. She's hot.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, she's pretty. How long you had her?
I've had her for about 5 years. I have 3 horses. Nellie is my favorite and the first one I've ever had. She's been in many movies. She's been in lots of documentaries. The first time I ever rode her, I rode her at in a battle that there was over 6,000 people and cannon fire and everything, and didn't bother a bit. She loved it.
I found you in Far and Away
Oh, did you?
with no problem.
Yeah, I'm in it quite a bit. If you,
I found you twice.
well, that's, you probably see me the too easy. There's other little times, but it's just glimpses.
Yeah. Right after he picks up his hat, they zoom up, and there you are just the other side of
Smoking
him.
a cigar?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't even smoke. They just handed that to me.
Hey, I quit smoking 8 months ago, guys.
Wonderful.
Yeah, after 30.
No drinking, no smoking. I said, what are you living for anymore, Juan? I mean, I know.
Cold turkey.
That's great. What we've got here, Nellie she likes the battle. She loves it. We did some filming today, matter of fact, for the Oklahoma tourism. It'll be a commercial. You'll see it here in about 6 or 8 months. It'll be on TV. She's in it.
All right.
So am I. Anyhow, this saddle here is a 1859 McClellan. General McClellan designed this saddle for ease. It's lightweight. You can ride in this saddle for days and it not give you saddle sores. United States Cavalry, after adopting this saddle, kept this saddle from 1859 all the way up till 1928 was the last change. Every so many years they would change a little bit in the saddle, maybe in the rigging mainly, but they used it all the way up until cavalry was disbanded in World War II.
Wow.
And like I say, this is the original type. What I'm doing right here, that's just the cinch. I'm not really going to cinch her down right now. What I've got here is pommel holsters. I carry 2 pistols in here, so I've got 12 shots right there on the saddle. I'm carrying my pistol on my side, which gives me 6 more shots. Plus I carry 40 cartridges in this pouch here for my carbine. So I can do quite a bit of fighting before I have to run off the battlefield and reload. The breast strap here is tied in the front of the saddle, so in case we're going up a hill, the saddle doesn't slide off the back. And you don't want to cinch them real super tight, because if you cinch them real tight, it cuts out their circulation and they can't breathe real well. And which, if it slides off the back, I mean, you're going to be in serious trouble. What I'm getting ready to put on here is called a crooper, and it goes around her tail. This is one thing that I'm sure she don't like. Put it around her tail. You tie it up here on the saddle. And this is to stop the saddle from going the opposite direction if you're going downhill.
Wow.
We do some pretty heavy jumping and riding, and this is kind of protection. This is our canteen, of course. Today we've filled that many times. Nellie likes the battles. She actually enjoys them, and we've done the battles. When she hears gunfire, she runs toward the gunfire. I mean, she loves it. It's quite something she enjoys.
Is it going to be easy to pick you out in the battle today?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Now, as big as I am, you can't miss me. What I've got here is what they call a, can't even think what they call it now. But this is in case one of the straps here breaks.
Sure single.
If the sure single, thank you, son. If the sure single breaks, then the saddle comes off, I'm gonna get hurt. which I've seen a lot of guys not ride with these.
And they got hurt.
People get hurt real bad,
Yeah.
and sometimes they don't get up to walk away. So it's just kind of like a seat belt, basically. Let's say Nellie's been in a lot of movies. Cavalry bit,
1859?
yeah, U.S. Cavalry. And they only,
Muscles back on the back. And you're all jerking around. Especially with a horse that you don't know.
she's usually pretty gentle. Michael's ridden link strap, and it snaps right up here most of the time. And a cavalryman ride in groups of 4. You'd have a squad of number 4 man would stay on his horse. Number 1, 2, and 3 men would get off their horse. Number 1 and 2 would take this off of their, unsnap it off of their horse and snap it into the other horse's ring right down here. So now the 2 horses are connected. And then the number 2 would do that to the 3rd horse. So all 3 horses now are connected by this little thin strap. The number 3rd man will take off his lead rope and hand it to the number 4 man. The number 4 man would grab a hold of the strap, and then he would take off and run back to the back of the battle. Because men, you could always find another men, but a good horse was hard to find. We didn't want the horses killed.
Wow.
So we would take them into the back, and then we would do our fighting, and then you'd fight with your carbines on foot, and then when you wanted to skedaddle, then they would yell for the team of horses to come back, so that one man would have 4 horses. He comes charging down the field up to his people. He'd stop. He'd just throw the lead rope over to his to the number 3 man, and then he would turn around and go back to the battle line on horseback with his pistol drawn, ready to fight, while these guys were mounting to get out of the way. And when everybody was mounted, then they would charge away. It's just a tactic. You know, we do a lot of different tactics. This man over here is Benny Gibson. I think you met him. He works for me at my shop. But, I board his horse too.
It's called dismounted cavalry, but I don't think you'll see that.
No, our battlefield is extremely small here today. So we probably won't have anything like that.
I think she just knows.
Huh? Much more common. You see these little cappies or these forage caps. You think that everybody wore those? Most men didn't wear those because the sun, with those, you wouldn't have anything to keep the sun off your face. And these here naturally keeps the sun off your face, keeps the rain off of you, keeps all the weather off of you. So it's just a regular old hat. But an actually forage cap is real hot. It's terrible. The way you mount, that I wasn't showing you earlier. I'm gonna get her out of the hole. Come here now. Out of the hole. I'm gonna pull her up here to get her out of the hole.
Hole was in the middle of the saddle for you, Jerry?
Yeah. Come here, damn it. Nellie?
Why is she
Stand.
being stubborn all of a sudden?
I don't know. She's never this way, is it? Come here, Nellie. Stand. Probably because she's cameras on her. She's trying to be a bitch. When you mount, you usually mount in unison. Everybody mount at the same time. You'd stand up here until they would tell you to prepare to mount. And when they would tell you to prepare to mount, all the men were usually in a group, you know, groups of 4, but they'd be a long line. The number 1 and number 3 men would step up 1 horse space. And then everybody would come back, grab a hold of their reins. They would grab a hold of this first, so that it doesn't tangle you up. You grab a hold. Stop it. Stand, Nellie. Come on. Put your foot in the stirrup and say mount. You didn't jump down in the saddle. You see people go up like that. It's very hard on the horse. Then you take your carbine and you put it in this socket right here. And that is to help this carbine not beat you in the leg quite as bad, but it doesn't work all the time. Then on this side, you take your saber and let it dangle from here. Now, I am ready. All right, you can either pull your carbine out, fight like this. You can load it like this. Pull your cartridge out as you're riding. Put your cap on it. And as you're riding, you just boom, boom. You drop that, grab your saber, like that, see? You ride like this, or if you're charging, or you can hit the guy.
Oh.
Boom!
Ladies and gentlemen, 100 years from now, a song will be popular called The House of the Rising Sun. This is the first animal. We call him Eric.
Ah, I thought you left.
But he's actually dressed out this morning because it's too hot for him.
Hey! Hey! Back in business. Oh. Oh, yes. This is General.
Yes, I have heard.
How much of that watermelon? We let it go to next time. Don't you? I don't see
Hi,
that
sugar.
in dance hall and stuff anymore.
I was reported on Sally's house of
I heard that.
pleasure. Young lady down there who insists
We let it go this
stepped
time.
out of the back door without paying.
That wasn't me, sir. That was
Honey, don't do that.
Boy, you took the cheap one, didn't you, Bruce? Then not a lot of money.
A month,
Well, I think they got you mixed up with somebody else.
It may be.
No, he did. It was me, it wasn't him.
$20.
Wait until the line thins down.
Would you repeat that, please?
The infantry was the backbone of the Confederacy.
Okay.
If it wasn't for the infantry, the war wouldn't have lasted as long as it did. Here's our belt. It consists of all your charges are in here. Like Jerry's cap box, similar to caps for your percussion.
Real great.
And my bayonet fixed to the top of the musket also. This is a Confederacy had a shortage of brass. A lot of times they used off of dead
Yeah, I
Yankees.
don't have time to write.
This was U.S. turned right side up, but they turned it upside down. And now it can read Southern Nation.
Sorry about that.
Wow.
This is my Wilson Creek house. I had no Wilson Creek. This is the first thing I.
It's a haversack.
This is the first thing I've done since we did.
It had almost anything in it.
Since
is,
didn't do nothing. I haven't been able to get away.
Food,
My work
recruitments of other kind,
laid off all the maintenance men.
fruit, so on and so forth.
So
Weather like this, you can't go without it.
for one man it is. I also take care of swimming pools. I may die quickly here. This time morning we did that morning drill. That about killed me.
Our weapon of choice here, the 1863 Springfield.
Yeah.
Basically, sort of like Jerry's.
There the last 30 minutes.
For the
powder down, put your ball in, ram it, ram rod, put a percussion cap in, and fire.
Take Texas, ball in. Company.